Welcome to Behind Every Booking, the podcast that unlocks the potential of your hotel business with insights, stories, and strategies for success. I'm Radka Talikova, your host, and I'm thrilled to take you behind the scenes of the fascinating world of hospitality. Let's dive in. I've dedicated my career to helping hotels optimize their revenue and create unforgettable guest experiences. So, what's coming up on Behind Every Booking? I'll be sharing real-world success stories from my clients. We'll dive into actionable strategies for increasing direct bookings, optimizing revenue, and streamlining operations. If you wish to join my community, check the link in the description under the episode, and let's make some magic happen together.
But I would like us to concentrate on what we are actually working and how we are cultivating, let's say, the life, or how we can cultivate even more the life of the small and middle-sized hotels, even the bigger hotels, of course, but the small and middle-sized are really, there is a crucial thing about like joint responsibilities for one person. So how we can handle that and how we can help them, to work through the revenue management and make the life much easier. So you have built inside HotelLabs the revenue simulator. We are now playing the game together. So it means I, as a revenue manager, any hotel owner, can join a training, my training, where they will be able to learn about the dynamic pricing, how they can handle that, how they choose the competition and all these kind of things. And then we can play the game for rate shopping and revenue management system. So what is going to happen if I will have such a competition, such a pricing strategy? What is going to happen to me, and simulate the outcome of my doings? So tell me something more about that. Like, how did you come up with this idea? Because I do know what the clients want. They would like to be 100% sure whatever they do with the price, they're gonna get the best outcome out of that, which is like miracle, I would say. But you have done it, right?
Yes.
With the simulator.
So in 2022, the Greek Confederation of Hotels, which is the number one most esteemed hospitality organization and non-profit in Greece, approached me and they asked me to deliver some trainings of about intermediate level to Greek hoteliers, to Greek hotel owners, GMs, managers, etc. And then basically we discussed that internally at HotelLabs, and we decided to build a simulator where we will mainly focus on exploring different tactical pricing approaches. We said we will start from a bar levels, because typically, Radka, when hotels don't use revenue management systems, they use more simplified pricing structures, because it is extremely difficult to have thousands of rate combinations. If in your hotel you have 4 rates, let's say free cancellation or refundable room only BB, that's already 4 combination, and you multiply it by 6 room types, you already end up having
This is why, sorry to say, this is why a lot of small hotels, they have only 1 or 2 rates maximum. They don't overdo it because of this problem.
Yes. So basically we decided to embark on a journey to create this simulator and basically take people hand by hand and take them from more simplified tactical pricing decisions like a bar grid to more advanced that today are considered the state of the art, like open pricing. It's been invented 12 years back. Everyone in the revenue management is considering that this is the state of the art, and only that is the most important for us and our audience to understand. Only if we move to a more complex and comprehensive pricing strategy, only then we will stop leaving money on the table. This means that if today we have a rate grid, if we're using fixed supplements from room type 1 to room type 2, from room type 2 to room type 3, no matter how good we are, we're always leaving money on the table. But then, when we need and when we want to go to open pricing, first of all, in the simulator course, we understand why you need to go to the open pricing. And the reason is because you can earn more money. Period.
Yes.
But on our journey to go into open pricing, we see that it's not that easy. Where typically a hotel would analyze the booking pace, the forecast, the budget, production on OTAs, direct bookings typically, on a hotel level, let's say hotel with 20 or even 70 rooms sometimes. Just imagine that for you to implement open pricing, you need to be able to have a full understanding of the booking window, cancellation window, pickup trends on a room type level. While of course it is possible, however, typically in these hotels there is no revenue manager because let's be honest, what would the revenue manager do in 70 rooms? Or a full-time revenue manager? There is not that much work. So typically the person that has to do pricing, he could be the owner, he could be the GM, he also has a million more things he has to do. Just imagine going to a hotel owner and telling him, you're now spending, 10 hours on reporting per month, but if you spend 30 hours for reporting per month, you will earn more. Yes, it's a great concept, but can you actually achieve it?
No, it's not sustainable. No. You would like to achieve it in 3 hours. Give it to
Sometimes
me. Just press the button.
You can achieve it, sometimes no. So the purpose we created the simulator is to guide people and to show them that revenue management system or some revenue management systems are not a black box. There is science behind that. There are algorithms. And in particularly, I do personally believe that switching to open pricing is one of the easiest and fastest way why a revenue management system can help any hotel increase the revenues very, very fast.
Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, this is when we have started to, let's say, our game, like working with the revenue simulator. I just told you, I would say, at least 15 years when I have abandoned my bar level pricing and I'm only on open pricing with my clients, and I'm trying to teach them how to, implement it, where to start, how to look into the things. But in many, many cases, their biggest, let's say, the most common question is, how do I know if it's 110, 105, 115 or 135 euro? And this is the most, let's say, annoying question I'm also getting, because I cannot really tell them unless I'm going to tell them, okay, you need to have a look on what's your forecast or what's your budget, and then you will see how many days you have prior to arrival. And where do you need to stand 60 days prior to arrival, 90 days prior to arrival, 30 days prior to arrival, so you achieve your goal. And then you adjust and then you play. So I believe, with using your simulator, it really gives them this kind of confirmation. If they will switch from bar to open pricing, then there's nothing they could be fearing about, because every single day is a new day, new demand, new strategies, and not really strategy, tactics you're gonna use, because the demand is changing every single day. It's not changing once in a week when we are setting up our pricing, right? It's changing every single minute, and a small hotel should really pay attention to the pricing at least once a day. And I can see it from myself in that small hotel in Prague. You can do it in 1 hour. But then once in a month, you need to take more time to see the bigger picture, to analyze everything and open the pricing for another month, to have, let's say, rolling pricing open for 12 months and, setting up new pricing levels and stuff like that. So I believe this is the magic about your simulator that really gives them the confidence that there is no way they could fail, because every single day is a chance to make it better. And it doesn't really matter if it's 105, 110, because you see immediately when a room is sold, it's okay. But if at the same time you get bookings for 5 rooms in the same period, you know that you are too cheap, because normally your pace is only 1 booking per day. Let's call it this way. So I really like it.
Thank you. So the reason that what we wanted to solve actually in the industry is that lots of people were coming to me personally. I used to be the only person here in Greece offering revenue management trainings a few years back through my consulting agency. And I realized that there are lots of people that went and did some expensive courses on revenue management, and the feedback was always, yeah, but this is too theoretical. This is just like buying a 60 euro book from Amazon and reading this book, and people would have spent 1 or 2 or 3,000 euros for such courses. But we all know revenue management does start from theory, but it is very practical, and we should train people based on practices, on live examples and case studies, rather than telling them, okay, go and buy the next book on Amazon for 60 euros and read it. And you know, by the way, Radka, lots of these books, they have actually mathematical, statistical formulas, etc. So actually, when I was starting my career in revenue management 10 years back, I wasn't really sure if and how much I need to learn all these formulas. And I was really thinking, but will I become a mathematician in the end or what?
Oh yes, you're 100% right. Because if the revenue management would be all only about the mathematics, I will never do a revenue management. Because, I mean, not many people knew this, but when I was on a university, I almost failed my mathematics. So can you imagine that? So I'm really happy, as I see it for myself at this moment, that revenue management is more like, at this moment, it's more like commercial, that you see the bigger picture. There's not like, silo revenue management only. That there is really like overlapping with additional, science, let's call it this way, from other portfolios of what needs to be done in a hotel to make more bookings and revenue and stuff. So no mathematics. We don't do it. But this is why we have your simulator. So what I can just tell everybody is what I really enjoyed, and it was nice because your simulator is based on hotels in Athens. And for getting the simulator working for us, we need to get to know my future competition. So if we will be going, let's say, in that situation, like repositioning my hotel, then I need to find a new competition. And I have found a great tool how to handle that. And I was sharing this with you yesterday, and I'm going to tell right now everybody how I did it. I have created the favorite list on a booking.com. I have chosen all those hotels I wish or I believe they should be my hotel. And I started to do, the fact sheet checking, okay, if we are somehow comparable. And then in that favorite list, you can choose the check-in and check-out date, and you will immediately in that favorite list, you can also see how the pricing is changing. So if it really fits your new positioning, or maybe the game we are going to play together to see execute jumping from bar levels to open pricing, and open pricing also on the upgraded room types. So it was really nice. I didn't really thought how difficult it is to find the right competition for you. It took me like really 2 hours, and it's only 2 hours, but for me it was never ending. I was like, I'm not able to find the right hotel for me. How can I do it if I do not know the market, if my repositioning is changing, or if I'm maybe joining a different hotel chain in a different city, and I need to understand who is my competition, who I believe as a new revenue manager should be my new competition, because my mindset towards this hotel has completely different, let's say, angles from the former revenue manager, because he or she saw my hotel differently than I do. So it's nice. So, thank you very much for this aha moment for me.
Thank you.
Okay, so what we're going to do in that simulator? So we are going to, if I understand well, we are going to move through 3 phases. The first phase, we will, let's say, practice our revenue management on bar level pricing. So it means we have a rate levels. We say level 1 is €100, level 2 is 150, level 3 is 160. And we play along with those levels only, right?
Correct. In the phase 1, it's also very important to add that we have fixed supplements for the upper room types. Therefore, if we configure that the second room type is plus €30 on top of the first, it's always going to be a fixed relationship.
Okay. So, and I'm going to get some reward, or how can I prove myself that I'm, doing the right job? Because I'm not alone in this game, right? How are we gonna do it?
Basically, the concept of the game, Radka, and that's a great comment, is to play it in a small group because people engage between themselves, because people can choose different competitors, and because people can actually make different decisions. So, in the simulator, our purpose is to visualize to you and also to others the impact of every decisions. And there is no better instrument to do that rather than integrating our benchmarking tool. So we integrate a benchmarking tool that would always benchmark our results versus the competitors in terms of market share, occupancy, ADR, and revenue. So we're simulating that maybe on the 15th of December, there are 4,000 people that will arrive to Athens tomorrow, and there are 3,000 beds available within the hotels that we have configured. So who will get this share? If I price my hotel for tomorrow at €1 million per night, then I won't have any people booking my own hotel. And the opposite. If I price my hotel at €1, first everyone will book my hotel, and only after my hotel is full, people will start booking others. So we believe that in any sustainable revenue management discipline, and whenever benchmarking tools such as our favorite STR is available, we need to use them to know what is the final outcome of our pricing. That is the best way we can measure our success or inaccuracies.
Yeah, it's amazing. So it means in general, I am not playing the game just on my own to see how the situation is going on, but because of there are other people in the group, we are, let's say, acting like competitors, and we are actually getting our market share through this game in a phase 1 to have the bar level pricing with the fixed upgraded room category supplements. And then we will move to the phase 2. It is the open pricing with fixed supplements, right?
Correct. Phase 2 is open pricing with fixed supplements. Why we created that is because we realized during our revenue management tenure that typically when people use enterprise level PMSs but without a revenue management system, because changing pricing in more sophisticated revenue management system, and this would obviously include the big players, but also some great check solutions that we integrate with, such as, for example, Hotel Time Solutions is a great partner. There would be certain people that would prefer changing the prices in the channel manager and not in the PMS, and therefore it is a little bit easier to go on open pricing on the base room type. However, it is as complicated to go on open pricing on all room types, and therefore typically hotels would still have a fixed supplement relationship for the upper room types, especially hotels with more room types, right? Because Ibis budget with maybe 2 room types is significantly easier to manage rather than a boutique hotel with 11 distinctive room types.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So this is what actually should be the outcome. This is my assumption because we have not played the game. We have done only the preparation for the game. My assumption is that we know that it's more difficult to do the open pricing because you have you need more, let's say, decision-making information, so you can really go and say, okay, this is going to be my price. So I believe stage 1 and stage 2, or the phase 1, phase 2, I am going to most likely gain a little bit less points because I am not able as a human being to really capture all the factors who are actually that are influencing my decisions, right?
Correct.
And then in a phase 3, we will move to complete like roulette, right? Open pricing on a basic room type and an open pricing on that upper room types. And I assume I will be getting even less points because I am not able to handle all the demand for upcoming 6 months for every single day, for every single room type. And the more room types I have, the more difficult it is to really juice my market, and get the best out of that. Is that right?
So typically people would start with an X accuracy, and then during phase 1 and phase 2 they would get their accuracy up because they would understand how to play the game and which data to analyze. And then when we would move them into phase 3, immediately their accuracy would fall a bit, and still the maximum results we can expect are maybe 85-90%, something like that. And it's very important to consider that even this, Radka, is a simplified scenario because we have a hotel with only 3 room types and we're taking pricing decisions only on one rate, the master rate. Just imagine that you are a hotel and you have 8 room types and you need to take decisions on 5 rates. Then what would be your real accuracy?
Well, I live it every single day without your simulator.
That's exactly the case. And that's why it's a very tactical instrument that can come only after people learning the theory, how we can select competitors, how to change price, what is rate grid, how we can implement open pricing. And by the way, very, very importantly, how to read benchmarking reports. And last but not least, Radka, is the group displacement. We teach people how to perform a group displacement analysis manually. So during the same simulation process, our dear hoteliers would have to take 2 times a decisions whether they should accept or reject a group.
It's amazing what you say, Nikos. The only thing what is coming to my mind is sometimes the group displacement doesn't make sense if your hotel is half empty, because I have a lot of clients, or I have seen a lot of hotels where yearly occupancy is around 35-40%. So the group displacement is not usually, that important because there is nothing to replace. It's only just, you are getting the cherry on a cake on the top because you are getting additional money which you would be normally not getting. But it's a side comment. It doesn't really doesn't really affect us at this moment. So I'm really happy to see that I could be able to let's say make your revenue simulator part of my trainings, because inside of Inevitable Hotel Success there is a revenue management, dynamic pricing, and we do a lot of implementation. So we need to have hoteliers to have absolutely amazing practical approach to the revenue management. So how to handle the demand, how to handle the pricing, how to work and think about the pricing. Even though they will start with the bar levels, how to think about the bar levels, how it's working. And then as soon as they are really confident to move on into open pricing, because in many, many cases, the mindset is what's actually, keeping us playing small because we don't believe or we don't trust ourselves enough to make it really happen and to really succeed in that way. People who are more experienced in the industry, they say, okay, there is nothing to fear because every single day it's a new demand, a new opportunity to make it better. So you don't really need to wait. Perfect. So what I'm going to, let's say, promise to everyone is that we're going to record our session. So you will see our successes and failures, I would say. And, is there something what the hotelier is going to gain out of this game? You said it is going to be the group displacement. They're going to learn how to do the, comparison benchmarking, how to, think about 3 levels of the pricing, how easy or difficult it is. Is there something else they will really have some kind of aha moment behind that?
Open pricing, I will have to repeat, is one of the easiest ways how any hotel in the world can increase the revenue within 30 days already after it's being implemented. Of course, the purpose is to explain that under certain circumstances, this can be done manually, having behind the wheel experienced person like you, Radka, but it's not under no circumstances possible to implement manually in all the hotels, or because it's too time consuming to analyze dozens data in Excels. And by the way, when we're hiring a revenue manager, we're hiring a revenue manager and not an Excel macros builder who will able to do magic with Excel. There are other people specialized on being Excel magicians. And it is just so powerful, Radka. It is so powerful, and sometimes people don't see what has been all this time in front of their eyes or nose. Yes.
So it means, let's be very precise. Is there any limitation who should be joining such a training where the revenue simulator will be used? Do you believe the hotel and experienced revenue manager who is working for the chain hotel will benefit out of that, because they maybe already have this technology in place and maybe it's not something they need to spend their time with to have a fun with us, with other revenue managers and hotel managers and stuff?
So
who will be the benefit the most?
So based on my own personal experience, I do consider this course being just half a level below intermediate, though it is how I judge that based on my experience. We've run the current simulation course already 6 times, 2 times for the Greek Hotel Confederation, 2 times online, and 2 times with other partners in Bulgaria, the top consulting agencies. And I can tell you that most of the times we had more junior revenue managers or sales managers, director of sales, hotel owners, and GMs. However, the few times that experienced revenue people with even up to 20 years of experience joined to play the game, while let's be honest, I don't think that they learned something vastly, but they still had lots of fun playing the game and interacting with other people, and once again seeing what is the sense of open pricing. So to conclude, it is half a step below intermediate, so it's more about if you're a starting or intermediate revenue managers with a few years of experience on your shoulder. If you are in a hotel that doesn't have a dedicated revenue manager and you're a director of sales, but you still need to be on top of the prices, same would apply for GM or owners. But at the very same time, if you're an experienced revenue manager and you want something different to play, have some fun and have a very interactive game, which is, by the way, very unique in the industry, there is literally no one else that has something similar to that, then I guess you could also join and experience this fun game together with me and Radka.
It's amazing. I'm already so excited. It's going to happen. We're going to launch it first in a Czech market. So I'm really looking forward who is going to join us for this, because it can definitely bring completely different personalities into the game, and it can really prove a lot of, let's say, aha moments also for the experienced people. So I'm really looking forward to see, my Czech and Slovakian customers to be the first one, and then we will move it to the international market. So I'm really looking forward to do it. And then first I need to test it on my own to see how good I am, in playing this game. So it's just perfect thing. Nikos, tell me one last maybe question, not maybe last two. Where do you see, let's say, hotel revenue strategy going in the next 3 years? Do you have some kind of prediction, or maybe, this kind of gut feeling it's not going to stay like it is right now?
So we with how fast AI is evolving, we believe that you would be able to do so many more things with using large language models. For example, right now, we started a new project where we will be building all the video tutorials explaining how to use HotelLab, where to click. When you click, this pop-up windows opens, and then you need to go and enter these settings and click save. We're building all these AI, all these videos based on AI automatically.
Amazing.
So, yes.
How long does it take? Like 3 hours to make it all happen? No, maybe a little bit more, but it's going to be much easier in production, right? Because this is the outcome, like make it so, and especially because the technology is changing quite often, and with your new upgrades, you need to redo your tutorials, right? Because it's never changing, it's never ending.
Correct. So the amount of time that we expect to save from such a project, obviously, I will be able to announce in the next few months. But right now, from the very first test, we see it's 85% saving on human time, having to record that. Then the system is changing, having to re-record that, etc., etc. So I do believe that the AI will give us a huge boost in productivity. I'm not sure if in 3 years AI and large language models will be able to do strategy. I'm very skeptical about that. So asking the AI model how you can hit your budget for next June or what your budget should be, I don't think we are coming close to that being released, at least in the next 3 years. But I believe that the main essence is that revenue managers using AI solutions are going to replace revenue managers using a pen and a paper.
Yeah, well, that's for sure. I mean, I do have some kind of vision for revenue management and for the AI, because I believe if we're going to take care of the AI and the legal part of that, so it means if you are feeding the data, your hotel data to the ChatGPT, it's public. It can be used for anyone else. So we need to make sure that if we are feeding the data to any AI, that its data stays with the AI as long as I am, let's say, developing the tool, and it will be not used for, let's say, open source knowledge for the long language model. This is the first thing. And if we're going to take care of that legal part, then I believe if we connect the AI to my booking engine, to my channel manager, my revenue management system, booking engine, a property management system, even my online reputation tool, I expect the miracles. But I think it should happen first when we are sure that our legal part of feeding our data to AI stays with my AI and is not going to be used to a public source knowledge. This is actually my, let's say, concern. And this is why I maybe say, okay, we started with a direct booking strategy, 70%, we end up with AI. But at the same time, I believe this is where we are actually heading. So we can, get a lot of support, a lot of efficiency, but we need to understand the big picture, what we would like to achieve, what's the problem we would like to achieve, because the AI is going to only fix the problem if you know what kind of problem you would like to fix or where we would like to go and what's the vision behind that. Otherwise, the AI is useless if we don't have a clarity of what we would like to achieve.
And actually, to take this even one step further, we need to automate all the repetitive tasks, all the routine tasks. Because when we do that, then we will have time for the bigger picture, then we will have time for strategy and literally anything else. So even back in the days, 15 years back, people would install and use revenue management system to manage 95% of the cases, but not the exceptions. And that is what has been given me also, as today, a co-founder at HotelLab and also a co-owner at the hotel, the time to be able to deploy all these strategies, because my day-to-day tasks, the repetitive, the routine tasks are automated. And instead of me spending my time on manually exporting reports from the PMS, doing Excel magician to turn them into something else and then make manual decisions based on that, I automate all this day to day, and instead I do strategy, which is the reason why it allowed us to achieve these results, Radka.
I think it's the best ending. It was absolutely amazing to spend the time with you, Nikos. I really always appreciate our calls because they are so much like we are coming from one topic, ending up somewhere else and discussing a lot of things, which is really helping the mindset to move on and not stay where we are and seeing the bright future, which is, in front of us in my life, at least in my life. Perfect. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for sharing us your success. I wish you all the best with your hotel. Move it up. 70%, it's not enough. And then I'll see you in a revenue simulator game. I'll see where we're gonna move and how we're gonna handle that. We will do the recording as I promised to everyone, and you can watch it. You can see how we have been good or bad in performing all those three phases. So thank you very much, Nikos, again for joining me in this podcast session, and I'll see you next time.
Thank you so much for having me, Radka. Bye-bye to everyone.
Thank you for joining me on this journey together. If you're as excited as I am about making every booking count, be sure to subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss a single episode. And if you've got a question or topic you'd like me to cover, I'd love to hear from you. Let's connect on Instagram or LinkedIn. If you wish to join my community, check the link in the description under the episode. I wish to kindly ask you to do two things. Share the podcast with others who may find it helpful, and subscribe so it becomes a trending favorite among hoteliers and those who fell in love with this industry.